Welcome.
Okay.
And welcome to Slightly Off Target on this Wednesday here at our studios at 1102 Tops of Bridge Road, Gainesville. Bo Wilson alongside Jeff Hart, and our producer as always, Seth Chabin, as we welcome you into the show. Slightly Off Target today. What's up, fellas?
Not much.
Not
Always
much.
good to be on the show.
Once again, another eventful morning of troubleshooting.
Hey, we love troubleshooting, but all it was delete and restore.
Yes,
That's
the
it.
simplest of
course,
fixes,
the
and
simplest.
of course, it's the one you overlook.
I love all this technology because we're able to do all this cool stuff, but then it's insane.
It's like when you
It's
call
crazy.
technical support for your internet and they tell you to unplug your router for 2 minutes and wait.
And wait. I plugged it back in. It's still not on.
It's still not on.
It's still not on.
Anyway, we got things working today once again as we are with you here on AccessWDUN.com as well as our Twitter pages and not Facebook, but YouTube. We'll get it right. Coming up on today's show, Johnson boys coach Frank Zamora going to talk a little bit about his team, and they're rolling toward the big showdown on Friday, the non-region showdown, of course, with Gainesville. So we're going to talk about that game and their season coming up as playoffs are approaching very quickly.
They are. I tell you, that's always it's event. It's not really a game or match, as they say. It's an event. And it's always one of the fun things to do every season.
And also coming up later on the show, we'll talk to White County Jim Waits as he will be on the show as well as Caleb Reddy. That's all coming up on today as we welcome Coach Frank Zamora into the show today. Coach, welcome to the show. How you doing, man? Coach, you there? There he is.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, sorry about that. It never ends.
It never ends,
It
does
never
it?
ends. Sorry.
I said, Coach, how you doing? Nobody heard how you were doing, so tell us how you're doing again.
Sorry about that.
Hey, no. Thank you guys for having me on the show. We're doing well, recovering from a late night yesterday from a game, but we're here and we're ready to go.
I tell you, you guys have been rolling. Y'all had, until last night in Collins Hill, it's 7A school, good program, tough soccer region. Y'all had won 11 straight. So you guys had we say a slow start for Johnson because they were 2-2-1. That's a slow start for them.
Right.
Then they won 11 in a row, I believe is what it was, or 10 in a row. What happened from the early 3 or 4 matches to the 10 or 11 game win streak?
Well, we started off the season a little slower than usual. We had some challenges trying to keep some guys healthy and, definitely had some challenges just like a lot of the teams around the area with COVID quarantines. And being a young team this year as well, all those challenges there led to some issues early on the season and then playing some good teams right off the bat, Flowery Branch, East Hall, some solid teams right off the bat. That led to, us dropping those 2 games and having that type of start. But once the boys, started clicking, got everybody back and healthy and trying to keep everybody healthy, the boys started believing again. And we got in a good role there with winning 11 straight games. We lost yesterday to a very good Collins Hill side, very well coached, organized, skilled and talented. But that's the type of game that we expected, and that's the reason why we scheduled them and preparation for obviously our big non-region game this Friday. But looking at the bigger picture, for what's coming up next week with state playoffs.
Well, Coach, you talked a little bit about the early losses. How much did that really help you guys losing early in the season up until now? How much did that help as far as, I guess, team camaraderie goes and team play goes?
I think that it gave us the opportunity to realize that, it doesn't matter if you're 1 or 19th on the roster, that you need to be ready to go at any given point in time. It brought us closer together, and it was a reality check for us, saying, coming in and losing those games and then, facing those challenges so early in the season, has definitely helped us and overcoming those challenges and working together and realizing that, obviously with COVID and other factors out of our control, we needed to come together and really quick, and just continue to do what we do. And it was a good wake up call for us, honestly.
Well, Coach, you mentioned just a minute ago how young y'all are. Only 3 seniors on the entire roster. So not only are you young and talented, over the years, Johnson's been kind of known for their offensive firepower, but really this team, you're not scoring in bunches like you had been in the last few years, but you've only allowed 11 goals in your last 12 matches. It seems like this team is really kind of geared more, at least for this year, with their defense, and you got Steven Flores, keeper, and y'all have a good tradition of keepers there at the Dungeon. Is the defense driving this year's group?
It's a combination. I think that defensively we've looked really good. We have a solid back line with Andres, a freshman, Andres Galicia coming in as a center back, Landon Avalos, Jeffrey Castillo, and Rudy Granados, all coming in and playing some sound defense for us. Solid across the back, and obviously, the best offense is a good defense. If we can prevent teams from scoring, and then capitalize on the opportunities that we create, I think that's really, it's been a combination of both. But no, you guys are absolutely right. This year, our defensive work has been amazing. They've done some good stuff there in the back line for sure.
Region 5A, one of the best regions in the state, certainly in 5A. I mean, you could argue it's probably one of the top 4 or 5 regions in all of Georgia. Y'all had a thrilling 1-0 win over Clark Central. That was for, it's rare these days when you get 2 unbeaten teams playing for a region title, and that's basically what it came down to, and you guys were able to scratch out a 1-0 win. How do you see this region as a whole? I mean, you got teams, like Greenbrier, Loganville, some of the other teams. How do you see this region faring in the upcoming state tournament in general?
Oh, I think that region, 8 and 5A is one of the strongest regions. Throughout the entire season, there was three teams constantly ranked top 10. In our region, it was us, it was Clark Central, it was Eastside at points, and now it's Appalachia. It's just a solid region in soccer, and I think that any of the teams can make a good run and go up against some of the other schools in other regions and really compete. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. Obviously we have tough region games, every week and in preparation for our state playoff competition. But I mean, you mentioned Greenbrier, Loganville coming in and having a solid finish to their season as well. We're still kind of waiting to see who's going to be able to claim that 4th seed in our region, but we're hoping that the region can make it far into the state run.
Talking with Johnson boys soccer coach Frank Zamora here on the show today. Coach, every year we think of soccer, we think of Johnson, of course, but we had the question, we're talking back in the sports office about just how good is soccer in the Northeast Georgia area this year. How good is it, in your opinion?
Oh man, I think that in our area is just among the best in the state. I mean, just in our county alone, just here in Hall County, you have Chestatee, Flowery Branch, East Hall, all ranked top 10 the entire season. In 3A, you have West Hall and Cherokee Bluff. And I can keep the list going. White County. As well, this region here is stacked where we're so rich in soccer. The community obviously has a lot to do with it as well. But I would put this region up in this area, up to any area in the state and the Southeast, really. When you have 6 of the 7 county schools ranked, that should be an indicator of how solid and strong the soccer community is here in Hall County.
Listen, you guys were ranked number 1 last year in the entire nation. Before COVID hit. And that really, that kind of, I think that crushed us a little bit because we were really looking forward to see if you guys would be able to go all the way and finish ranked number 1 in the nation. And we probably never had a team in this area in any sport that's probably been ranked, finished ranked number 1. There was a good shot for you guys to do that. So that was kind of a blow. But we're going to, let's talk about the big one. And we all know which one we're talking about. That's the Gainesville-Johnson rivalry. I mean, look, 2 years ago, or was that the water bottle incident? Was that in 2019? That was a game.
Yes.
Yeah, that was wow. I mean, you don't see that very often in too many sports. I'm gonna tell you, this is one of the great events to go to if you're in this area. It's going to be at the Dungeon on Friday. As far as rivalries go in Hall County, Northeast Georgia, I'm not. There might not be a bigger one. How do you think this compares to some of the others? You know, you had Gainesville and you had Gainesville East Hall in basketball. To name one. How do you see this as far as rivalries go?
Oh yeah, no, I think that this is a huge rivalry game. You know, we can go back years, and just the rich tradition of success at both schools, lead up to such a great game, a competitive game that it's just something we look forward every year, and the community looks forward to it every year, because again, it's good soccer, and people enjoy some good games, some competitive games. Both teams, the guys in both teams, they grew up together, they play on the same club teams, and so it makes it that much more special, and it's a big deal here around in Hall County and Northeast Georgia. I think one of the biggest in the area.
Yeah, Gainesville, look, they're not having the typical Gainesville. They didn't make the playoffs. They're in a tough soccer region over there in 6, 7, 8. They didn't make the playoffs, but they won 3 in a row. It looks like they got ready just in time for you guys. So how do you see this one going down on Friday?
It's going to be a competitive match. It's one of those things where I tell my boys, at this point for this one game, records, they don't matter. Any game prior to this doesn't matter. All we get is those 80 minutes to play against a top level team, a quality side that's going to be well coached. And so that's kind of what we're focused on. We're not focusing on the record. Obviously, they play in a very tough region. They play a tough schedule. And nonetheless, that helps. Obviously, their record is not, like you mentioned, what they're used to down in Gainesville High School either. But they're going to come ready to play, and at that point, it's a classical, and it's going to be 11 men on the field, and records. Anything outside of that field doesn't really matter. They'll leave it all on the field, just like we plan to do.
Well, Coach, we are looking forward to the game on Friday. We're also looking forward to watching you guys hopefully run through the Class 5A playoffs this year.
Yeah, we're hoping the same thing. It's going to be a tough run for us, but, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So that's kind of our mentality at this point.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining the show today, and we'll see you on Friday.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Frank Zamora of Johnson Boys Soccer got the Johnson Boys region champs over in Region 8 5A and a number 1 seed heading into the Class 5A playoffs.
Listen, I didn't say you better get there early.
Probably should.
Yeah, they usually fill that stadium up. I mean, there was it's a great atmosphere. If you haven't, I mentioned Gainesville East Hall basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Those were more than just games; those were events.
Yep.
That's what this is like. It has that feel to it every single year. So even if you're not a soccer fan, this is something you should go watch. It's really just unique in this area. There's noise constantly, and you got both sides. It's usually really one of the better events every year.
The Johnson Gainesville Boys rivalry happening on Friday at the Dungeon over in the Oakwood.
The Oakwood.
The Oakwood.
Is that like
Over
Charles
in the-
Barkley with the
in the Oakwood.
Yeah, the Annapolis.
That's right.
The
Annapolis.
Okay.
Over in the Oakwood.
Okay.
It's now time to cut away.
Yeah, we have Caleb with the traffic report today, guys.
Oh.
What am I doing?
It's a traffic report, Caleb.
You know I don't do traffic from here, right?
Oh.
Huh?
What?
I feel like we should put Sports Center across those.
We might.
You know how they do their cutaway commercials?
That was slightly off target.
Slightly
by the way.
off
Just
target.
a little off
Just
target.
slightly off target.
I've seen him do. He's saying he doesn't do traffic. I've seen him do the traffic.
Look, I am supposed to do a rant today, by the way.
Oh, are you going to do your? You got something to rant about?
Well, I do have something to rant about.
Good.
When the light turns green, just go.
That's your rant.
That's Bo's rant, everyone. On to the next
That's
topic.
it. Wow, that's. We had you slotted for a couple more minutes there.
Mhm.
So now what do we do?
Well, you know how when you sit at a stoplight and the light turns green
Yes.
and you're still sitting
Yes. It's
at
like,
the stoplight
look
because
at-
you're like 7 cars back from the actual front, and
it's
you're
like-
still sitting there.
It's like a worm. The front has to move, but the back is still sitting there. Then by the time the back moves, it's red.
But if the light turns green and everyone presses the gas pedal at the same time, we all get through quickly.
In theory.
Don't get me on a roundabout.
What's wrong? I love roundabouts. Those are much better than the stoplight.
When they're used correctly.
That's why you have to
Yield does not mean stop.
It doesn't. It
No.
does not mean stop. It means yield.
Means yield.
If there's nobody there, go.
Like slow up if
Go.
nobody's there.
If nobody's
Get
there,
in the
go.
merry-go-round.
So
Have
which
fun.
roundabout gives you problems? The one over by the Dawsonville Outlaw?
None of them give me problems. Gonna gun it.
Oh,
I'm getting in there.
I'm going to make sure I know when you're coming.
I'm getting in them. I'm getting on it. Anyway,
Wow.
So yes, today's Bo's rant is when the light turns green, press the gas pedal and get out of the way.
Press
That's all
the
I
gas
got for you.
pedal and get out of the way.
That's right. That's right. So in the headline world,
Oh, there's some interesting headlines.
how about your boy Rush Probst down at Valdosta? I think he's getting what he had gotten a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it's just
After Bo's vocal detour there,
Yes.
Yeah.
the roundabout way to get where he was going.
That's
Ooh,
right.
Roundabout
That's
way.
a roundabout.
I like
Hey,
that. I like
Hey, I
that.
didn't even mean to do that.
We
Hey,
see what you did there. We
yeah,
see what you
nice.
did there. It was.
Sounds like our
Nice.
intro bit. Hey.
Hey. Oh.
Yes. So your boy Rush.
I don't know. Why do you say he's my boy?
Coach.
Why do you say he's my boy?
Listen, I gave Coach Probst the benefit of the doubt when he moved over to Georgia. Second chances.
You didn't let me finish that statement when you asked me.
Okay.
It's because
Okay.
some of my friends knew people that knew about that story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What happened over here is nothing new to what they figured was going to happen.
Right.
So you say second chances. Had they dug a little deeper at Colquitt County?
Just a little deeper.
Now, he was there 11 years?
Yeah, he was there.
He was there
Yeah.
quite a while. I mean, and really it was a relatively quiet 11 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or at least there's no tapes that have come out that we know
Well-
of. Maybe Colquitt's better at covering it up. I'm not saying anything Colquitt County fans. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just, this whole thing, it's, I mean, the big story of this is not just Rush. It's the fact that the GHSA has banned a school in football from the postseason for the first time in its history. And it's not just any school. I mean, it's the school.
The school.
It'd be like
The
it's
school with the most wins in the country.
in all time in U.S. history, the most
24 state championships.
the most in Georgia. It's not just it's not like they picked just some. We'll make an example of this. Where is that? Never heard of that. This is Valdosta.
This is Valdosta.
This is while they're not they're not at the pinnacle
Mm-hmm.
like they were maybe 20 years ago. I mean, it's still Valdosta. It's like Alabama getting put on probation, or Kentucky basketball getting put on probation, or Vandy baseball at this point, since they seem to be dominating the SEC now. I mean, that's big news. This is huge. I think I feel bad for the players. What if you're just, what if you're one of those guys on Valdosta, you got a shot to make, get somebody to come look at you.
But
now the system is just embroiled in this.
But the crazy thing is that 7 victories are going to be taken away from the 2020 season because 5 players allegedly were ineligible.
Yeah, and they have been, weren't they banned also from upcoming activities? I mean, this thing is big. It's huge. And $5,000 doesn't sound, I mean, that's what they were fined as a program, and that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's one of the biggest fines GHSA has ever imposed on any program in any sport. I mean, this is really big, and we've had our moments with the GHSA.
They're going to appeal this, by the way. I think the appeal's on Monday.
Okay.
Down at Thomaston.
Now this will be
Thomaston.
interesting because how many appeals usually get overturned?
This one I don't think is going to get overturned. I think
But
this
very
is pretty
few.
much done.
Look, very few appeals ever get overturned.
Well, the $7,500 in fines is believed to be the largest ever in GHSA history.
I mean, that's just huge. I mean, it's because
How much?
$7,500.
I heard it was just 5. I heard it was just.
It's
There are
5
several
1,000.
reports.
It's 1,000 per player. So there were
Yep.
5 players, and there was a $2,500 other fine. And it doesn't. Look, school systems, when they have to shell out money like that, that's taxpayer money.
Mhm.
If I'm a taxpayer, I'm not real happy about this.
Right.
But Look, this story has made the New York Times. Not that we're endorsing the New York Times or anything. But when the New York Times does a story,
man, this is gonna
big.
stink for, one player is already enrolled at a university.
Wow.
If the appeal does not work, the
Right.
other four who are juniors
Right.
are going to lose their eligibility not only at Valdosta, but at all GHSA.
That's correct.
schools.
They are not going to be allowed
Yep.
to take part in any GHSA sanctioned event, which means if they'd probably have to join a GISA team or something
Right.
like that, I guess. It's really unfortunate. And what's unfortunate is this should never happen.
No.
This should never happen. I mean, you should not have a coach of any sport in any team anywhere in the state sitting there talking to anybody, whether they're being recorded knowingly or not, talking about, let's recruit people and let's get some money so we can bring.
Okay.
I mean, that's just not good.
Eligibility, though, not only goes from the head coach, it also goes to the athletic department. So,
Well,
where's the Valdosta athletic director?
I don't know, and
in
I'm
this
wondering
whole-
if that's why Nub Nelson. Now he says that he didn't release this, but somebody got
somebody released the video,
it. Somebody
which
got it,
had the recording,
and he didn't seem too upset that it
which
was
has
released.
been all over the news.
Right.
AJC's been reporting on it.
And
you
I'm
know,
wondering
now
if
for
this got
weeks.
released because the athletic department was just going to
Right.
try to bury it under the leaves. And if that's the case, that's really bad on the
Mhm.
athletic department. I mean, look, we all want to win. Nobody wants to lose. Show me a good loser, and I'll just show you a loser.
Right. Right.
I got that.
Well,
But there's also doing it the right way. This is not the right way.
not the right way at
Not
all.
the right way.
Should have never happened this way, but it did happen. And
It's a stain on the
it's
whole
It's another
state.
mess.
It's a stain on the whole state
Mhm.
because you got the most successful program in the history of the country and in Georgia, basically spitting in the face of everybody that's trying to do it right.
Yep.
It's not, when you said earlier they get what they deserve, I agree with you. I feel bad for the players, and if I was a player on this team, I would not be happy.
No.
And I'd be really upset with the adults who are like, does it mean that much, really? I mean, this is supposed to be, in the end, it's a sport, and it's supposed to be fun. And I know there's a lot of money involved because you go get those 4-year
Oh, yeah.
scholarships that are worth
yeah.
$40,000-$50,000 a year. You're talking six figures. I understand all that.
Mhm.
Nobody said it wasn't, if we all played sports, that was the goal. I want a scholarship. There's no doubt. But, man.
But let's go back to the drama before Probst's name was even brought up into the situation. They had Alan Rodemaker was the
Yes,
coach down
right.
in Valdosta.
That's right.
Won a state championship, then had a couple of rough years.
And he was getting look. We looked that up.
Yeah.
He was getting
He
beat
was-
soundly.
He was getting beat soundly
by some of the rival teams,
right,
which was
right.
not. That was, it made hard to go out to eat.
But you have to wonder. You have to wonder. So you have 5 ineligible on this team, but
Right.
you have to wonder exactly what was going on. Was it one of those cycle things with Valdosta? Because you know how athletes are. They come in cycles. They come in waves.
Yes.
So now Rodemaker has been forced out, basically, fired by the Board of Education.
And
Then
he's
they-
appealing, and he's got a court case.
He's got a
with
court
that.
case against that.
Right.
And then they hire Rush Probst to come in as head coach. And now 5 players
I
were
just wanna-
ruled ineligible.
Who thought that was a good
So
idea?
if those 5 players had not been on the team, how good would Valdosta have been? Now I know we're in a COVID year for last football season and everything, and a lot of changes, but you have 5 ineligible players.
Look, they got to the semifinals and played. Now that Buford smacked them pretty good.
Yeah, they smacked him real good. They laid this smacketh downeth.
They did, and I think that's
Goodeth one.
Yes,
a goodest line. That's
Yes,
very
good.
nice, very nicest.
would've.
Would have
Yeah.
gotcha.
Okay.
But no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
We
I
shall
just
toast
want-
thee
I
at the
just-
banquet this eve.
Cheers.
Oh my goodness. Whose idea was it to hire?
Board of Education down at Valdosta.
Not
who-
only are
who
we
basically
slightly off
pushed
target,
Rodemaker.
we
Oh,
the dart went out the building.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. The appeal apparently is coming up on Monday down in Thomaston at the Upson Lee Civic Center. So that could be a large crowd.
You
at
think
that,
so?
That appeal for Valdosta.
You think so?
Yeah, it could be huge. Moving on to the headlines, the Braves are on a losing streak. Imagine that. Hawks are not. Hawks are doing well, actually.
You know, the Braves
And-
only went on a losing streak after they got hosed
Hosed.
in that Phillies game. That's
Still-
one of the
still out.
Still,
Still
out.
out.
by the
Fire
way.
hose or garden hose?
He's still looking
They got
for
beat
home
by
plate.
hose. I mean,
It didn't
did
matter.
you not see that play, Seth?
It did not matter.
You didn't see
You
the
missed.
Oh, wow.
You missed a
I
slide home.
did.
Wow. Yeah, he's still not out.
He's still looking for home plate.
Where is it? Yeah, that and they haven't won since.
Haven't won since, and last night was brutal.
That's what John Jacobs would tell you. He's got season
It's
tickets.
brutal.
You know, he's got season tickets to the Braves.
Yeah, he's got season tickets. He goes, I'm going to the game. I'm sitting in the box, wherever behind home plate. I was like, cool, man. He goes, yeah, it's just the Marlins. I'm like, well,
Yeah, well, they're 0-2 now. They're 0-2 against the Marlins.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, number 4.
Hey, it's early in the season, but you know,
J4.
Max-
J4.
yeah, Max Fried did
It's
not look
J4, right? Or is it J5?
J4.
J4.
Ooh,
J4. J4.
You gave him an extra
JJ4.
little thing there.
Yeah.
He's not that old.
Hawks are playing well, though. Hawks are playing really well.
What do you-
Nate McMillan is the man.
Is that the key? You
I mean,
think?
look, Trey Young's not in. John Collins is not playing. They're still winning.
Bogdanovich has been like going off.
Bogey.
Well, you're watching them.
Capella's been huge, too.
What's
Capella-
is
Capella
it just
might
Nate?
be the key to
Is
this
it
run
just Nate McMillan, or what is
Well,
it?
there's been some changes, but Nate McMillan comes in and it's fresh. It's new. It's a new leader.
So
now,
how long
granted,
does it?
I will
so
give them this.
When does
They
it wear
have
off?
played some of the upper teams in the NBA with some injuries. Some players had injuries on those teams. However, Hawks are playing really well together.
Hey, look, injuries are part of the
Look,
game.
they're-
That's you can't
look,
do anything about it.
I would not want to play the Hawks in playoffs. And actually, they're doing some type of what is the playoff deal this year?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
We'll have to get back to you on that. It's like the playoff before the playoff.
Oh yeah,
It's like the first 4 in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, you know, when I read
Yeah.
it, you know what I did? I read a small little snippet on that I don't think there's a lot of people that are really going to dig it, as I
Yeah.
understand it.
Well, we're going to dig it. We're going to dig it all the way into high school baseball, the rundown of high school sports coming up for the rest of this week. Coming up today, which is Wednesday, which we are recording the show, and it is live. We'll have it up on the website access here in just a little bit, hopefully.
What a
We'll
journey
have that up
live has
there.
been.
But live has been a great journey. And our rundown coming up this week, we've got soccer, we've got baseball, a lot of baseball action. Today is Wednesday, has been our normal baseball day, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And,
Well,
Jeff.
There's some huge series
Huge,
this week and
huge,
next.
huge.
Next week is the last week of the regular
Are you
season.
covering that North Hall Dawson County game today?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
You haven't
Just
given
wanna
me
check.
my assignment.
That's right. We haven't talked about that. White County is at Cherokee Bluff
That's
today.
huge game.
Huge.
Huge game. Buford can clinch the 6A title with a win over Winder Barrow. Buford's won, Winder Barrow 3. That was a 5-4 game. You said, "Oh, Buford's gonna blow them out."
No, it wasn't.
It was,
It's an 8-4 game.
but it was 5-4 at one point in that
well,
game.
okay. But it was an 8-4 game.
Well, I understand that Buford, kind of put it away late, but look, Winder.
I mean, after the first inning, any game could be 1-0.
I just, I try to teach this guy. I do. It's hopeless.
What inning are we talking about, Jeff?
I don't
the
know.
first or second inning?
I don't know, but this is the longest stretch you've gone where you didn't go win football.
Hey, spring football's coming up soon, folks.
There we go.
There
and
it is.
There it is. It's like, it's not that he doesn't like the other sports, ladies and gentlemen. It's just
It's
there's
just
something.
that he really
loves football. But he played
I
offensive line.
can't lie. Sorry.
Yeah, he played offensive line. He took a few shots to the head.
Look,
I'm not saying that has anything to do
Now,
with it.
now we're still on target, but we've kind of gone off the tracks.
Off track.
Yeah, because we're talking about baseball schedule today and for the rest of the week, and soccer schedule.
As we should. It's baseball and soccer season.
Right.
Okay.
So you were trying to one-up me since I really one-upped you on the score. So now let's get back to it. So Buford can win the region today.
That's
with a
correct.
win over Winder Barrow. Seth's going to go over there and get some photos and some video of that game tonight.
Yes.
Listen, Dylan Lesko may be pitching. You want to get there. Make sure you get that because
Yeah.
I want to see if you can pick the ball up on video. I hear he throws it like 97.
I got to get to Buford real early. That parking lot fills up quick.
Yes, it does.
Well,
does.
get there, get some. If Lesko's pitching today, let's get some action there. See what's happening on there.
Listen,
Say that name one more time.
Lesko.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Buford. Wait.
Just say it twice. Just cheer it twice.
Let's go. Let's go. Oh.
How great is that?
Let's go. Let's go.
That's pretty great.
That is pretty good. Maybe we can.
Did you not pick up on that?
I just
Jeff?
did. I just did.
Hmm.
I'm a little old.
And with that,
we'll transfer.
Wait, are we still live? Were we still
we will
live?
transition to Jim Waits at White County with a big win over Cherokee Bluff on Monday.
Coach, that was a big win and a big series. You got a great pitching performance, and you got a big hit from your big guy, J. Ben Haynes. Right. How big was this game?
It's big. We talk about you got to get the first one, and especially in a 3-game series. And when you got to win 2 out of 3, that first one is a big one right there. It means you don't have to go to their place and win that first game down there.
Well, right now, this puts you on sole possession in second place, and I'm sure that there's probably a lot of teams out there going, wow, White County in second place, but it's a tough region, but you guys have played well all season. What are you going to have to do to kind of close out the year?
Just do what we've been doing. Our kids always, or say they always, they have good at-bats. We've talked to them about having quality at-bats every time, and guys run it out 90 feet every time. They run 90 hard, and they play hard, and they compete on every pitch, every out. They're competing.
Well, where you sit right now in the season, is this better than you could have possibly kind of dreamed it up before the season with a tough region?
Sure, but we've got great leadership with our seniors out here. They do a great job of mentoring the younger players, because we got some young guys in the lineup out there, but our seniors all the way around have done a great job of mentoring all the 10th graders and 11th graders.
Coach, congratulations, good win.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff.
White County coach Jim Waits after the win over White County. Also, Caleb Reddy, the senior pitcher, he tossed 6 innings in that one, giving up just 1 run on 3 hits to get the win.
Listen, that's a good Cherokee Bluff team. That's a good White County team. This may end up being the second place series right now. West Hall still has North Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And North Hall right now ranked number 2. They're top of the region. The winner of this series is going to have the inside track to the number 2 seed. It's a huge game tonight in Cherokee Bluff. And they go back to Cleveland on Friday.
Back to the land of Cleve.
And Caleb Reddy, I mess it up every time. But Caleb Reddy, he pitched just a real gritty kind of ball game. Caleb, that was a big win and a big game for you guys. You seem pretty much in control out there. What was your game plan?
Just going in, I was just thinking throw strikes. I got defense behind me working, and I just love my defense behind me. They are always making the plays for me, and I was just pumping the strike zone.
Well, you got the big pickoff in the first inning. How did that help your momentum moving forward? Then your offense finally came around.
Oh, that was awesome. It really brought energy to our team and made us come up and just started making us rope the ball.
I think a lot of people in the area might look at you guys as kind of a surprise. You're in second place right now in a tough 7-3-8. What's been the mindset of this group all year?
Mindset is just work our hardest every game and try to prove everyone wrong. It's pretty easy. Just loving to do it.
Well, where do you see this team moving forward?
I see us just working our butts off in region and trying to finish this season off strong, get our second in region, and hopefully doing good in the playoffs.
All right, well, thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
White County pitcher Caleb Reddy, a big win on Monday over Cherokee Bluff. They play again today, 5:55 start on Wednesday. They also finish out the series on Friday as well, Jeff. And next week is the last week of baseball season.
It's a big week.
The regular season.
The regular season,
yes.
That's correct. Like, this is the last series for White County. So if they can win this series against Cherokee Bluff, and they'll have a head-to-head tiebreaker, good chance they're going to finish second. If White County, West Hall still has North Hall. North Hall obviously still has White County, so they haven't clinched anything. But look, Dawson County is right behind both West Hall and Cherokee Bluff. They're only 2 games back. And, of course, Dawson plays North Hall. I mean, they're going to have to scratch a win somehow against North Hall. It's going to be a tall order to stay in this thing. But if they can, then they're going to finish out next week. There's still quite a bit, kind of left to be done around the area. There's a big series, Banks County last night. They lost to Elbert, but that's a big series. That series will decide 8-2A. And there's some highlights right there that we're looking at that Seth took last night. Banks County did not win, but they have a doubleheader on Friday at Elbert. And if they can win those two, they'll win the region.
Well, that's a wrap for the show today. What are you looking at me like that for? Seth?
We've got more interviews.
We have more interviews?
Who do we have?
Jefferson head coach. We didn't even talk about Jefferson's game last Friday.
Oh, we haven't talked about Jefferson.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
well, they're right.
I wrote that down here because we had Jefferson North Oconee highlights.
I work so hard.
But I didn't,
to get these things
write
ready
down
for the show.
That we had an
so
interview.
It's not the end of the show.
It's not the end of the show.
So wait,
Fake news.
Hold on.
No.
Bo was slightly off target.
I was slightly off target.
Hey.
Slightly off target.
How many times can we do that before it
Roll
gets...
that beautiful baseball footage.
Interview or B-roll?
Interview. Action.
That's what you talk about in practice. Throughout hitting makes a difference in ball games. So I'm proud of our guys where they get up there and fight and scrap, and a lot of them were with 2 strikes too. 2 outs, 2 strikes, and they can end up getting a hit.
You can see a lot of games where it's a little one-sided, where one team gets hot bat and the other team just didn't. Both teams had pretty hot bats today. Talk to me about being prepared and making sure your game plan matches what happens in the game.
Well, I looked at one of my assistants, and I guess it was the 3rd inning, or the bottom of the 3rd after we scored the 8 runs. I said this one may be 21-20 because the way both teams are swinging the bat. Big strike zone, but neither team was throwing a lot of strikes, so it's one of those things you figure you just got to keep scoring and win each inning from that point out.
Talk to me about this team and this group of guys, the connection they have.
Oh gosh, this is a close-knit group. We got 9 seniors. They played together all the way through middle school, through JV, and they all come up and played for a couple of years on the varsity. So they're tight, and it's amazing how we've had some younger kids also come in and fit in with them. I mean, the whole group is a tight-knit group. But it's fun. They have a good time being around each other. They do a lot of stuff together, and that's what it's about. That's what they're going to remember from when they get done with high school and college. They'll look back at these times with their friends and playing. Nobody's going to remember who won or lost every ball game, but they'll remember what the good time you have with your friends.
And speaking of just, this team, are they as good as they can get right now? Or they got a little bit further to go?
Depends on what day it is. Sometimes we play good, sometimes we don't play so good. So if we just be more consistent, I'd be happy with that.
Coach Nolly Jefferson talking about taking 2 of 3 from North Oconee. North Oconee is about a half a game ahead.
Well, they're tied. Jefferson have 1 more win. North Oconee has 1 less loss. By percentage points right now, North Oconee's in first. But Jefferson has the head-to-head tiebreaker. So, if they're going to have to sweep out, Jefferson is, and they're going to have to look for at least 1 North Oconee loss.
And how crazy is that region? Because North Oconee swept Branch, correct?
Yes.
And then Branch swept Jefferson, or won 2 or 3.
2 out of 3 from Jefferson. Jefferson took 2 out of 3 from North Oconee. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, that's a beast region. And, look, Madison County, that's who North Oconee has left.
Who beat Flowery Branch on Monday.
Flowery Branch on Monday. I'm telling you, look, it's...
Better buckle up for Region 8 4A.
Chastity has 15 wins.
Yeah.
They're in 5th place.
Yeah.
We thought it was a good football region. We thought it was a good basketball region. Baseball might be the most balanced of all of them. It may go down to the last inning in that region.
Hold on, we need to check with Seth. Do we have any more footage we need to roll on the show today that I did not write down?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
He seemed very insulted when you were ready to close shop right there.
It was like, stop.
Wow.
I have worked so hard today.
I said, I worked so hard on this show.
There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in this room.
Not really crying, guys.
It looked like it.
Oh, it sounds like
Your face was really red.
Yeah.
And it looked like a tear almost came out.
His face is always red, though.
Ooh. Okay, you get to put 1 on the board for that one.
All right, we can end the show now.
Yeah, we're going to end the show now.
Oh, now he wants to end the show.
Check us out on the socials. Keyword search on Facebook and Instagram. Access WD with Sports. Seth, he is on Instagram at Seth _ / ChapmanSin.com.
It's not
And-
correct, and it's none of your business.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Jeff's
None
at
of-
HeartJJ22 on Twitter. I'm at the Bo Wilson on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever else you want to find me. I am there.
So
Seth,
is it the Bo Wilson on all of that?
It's at the Bo Wilson on Twitter and Instagram, and it's
Okay.
copyrighted, by the way. Just because-
Copyrighted?
yes, just because I can put that little emoji on my name.
It's copywritten.
Copywritten. That's right.
Copyright.
Copywritten.
Something.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
No, it's not.
I don't know.
It's
So
copyrighted.
what you're saying is
I don't know.
It's a
trade
copyright.
is trademark.
RIGHT.
Either way, you can't use it.
That's right.
Wow.
For Seth, who did a fantastic job today producing the show. Good job, Seth.
Thanks.
And troubleshooting the show. Good job, Seth.
Ugh.
And for Jeff,
Wow.
I'm Bo. Enjoy the rest of your week, everyone.